I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order.
It's ridiculous.
Martin, would you care to lead us in prayer?
Sure, be glad to. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Let us pray. Most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, would you so humbly come before you again this evening, Lord, and Lord, we just ask your blessing upon our meeting, Lord, and Lord, I just ask for wisdom with our board members, Lord, as they make decisions that affect our county, dear Lord. Lord, just be with those that are sick, afflicted, Lord, those that have lost loved ones, Lord, the family of Max Hillman, whose service is going on this evening, Lord, I just pray that you be with them, Lord, and bless them all. All these things we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Shall we lead us in?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sugar, well, we just done prayer. Would you like to tell about the event at the courthouse?
Yes, let's remember Brent Wallace is doing an event at the courthouse in honor of Charlie Kirk. Let's remember him at 7 that, you know, people will come out and hear it and be part of it.
All right, we're down to, we need to do the approval of the minutes before the change of the,
Yeah, and
Okay,
then
let's
the
do that
agenda
then.
too, I guess.
get a motion for the public hearing minutes. Ordinance for the fire department building, the August 19th meeting we had in the Dixon County Behavioral Health Services, which is also August the 19th.
I'll make a motion that we approve all of them. I read all of them, and I didn't see any corrections that needed to be made. If anybody has, I'll make the motion that we go ahead unless someone else has any corrections or anything.
A motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All right, any further discussion? Anybody have anything on that they need to? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye as well. The approval of the agenda.
Do we have any additions or corrections?
Mr. Chair, members of the board, I do have a couple of changes to the agenda proposed. If you'll flip over on page 2, item 6A, new business, the hay cutting agreement that I had, we'll have to hold off on that, so let's take that off for tonight.
Is it under,
6A, under new business.
oh, okay.
And then also, as we go into closed section on item 9B, economic development, if we could remove that from this month's meeting.
Both of those B section altogether.
Yes, the B section altogether, yes, ma'am.
And it was in new business, it was A.
Yes, 6A in new business, the hay
Okay,
cutting agreement.
thank you.
If we could remove those.
Any more, I'll make a motion that we approve the
Ms.
agenda
Schlesman
unless
has a
there's any
request.
more.
Yeah, I request that we not remove, but the certification for closed meeting occur earlier.
Like the motion to go into closed session?
Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion then that we go into closed session before our regular meeting so that Rhonda can go attend a funeral tonight. Is that how I should do it?
That is. So would you put that after, be between public comment and new business? Correct.
Don't we have to have a approval of the agenda and then vote on going into closed session? Because it would come after the close, after
I thought we
approving the
did
agenda
approve it.
changes, wouldn't it?
It would. We could go ahead and approve our agenda to move the order of closed session, I feel. Commissioner, we move
Oh,
items
okay.
9 and 10 can move up between the current 5 and 6.
So move 9 and 10 up
Between the current 5 and 6.
5.
Correct.
I'll do public comment first.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
We still need to approve the change on the agenda, the consent agenda.
I make a motion that we approve the agenda as we have made the amendments to.
I'll second it.
Any discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye as well. Now we're down to the consent agenda.
Okay, you want me to make the motion to go in?
Let's do the consent agenda first and
Okay.
public comment.
Okay.
Larry said closed session would be after public comment.
Okay.
Yeah,
We can do a motion for items 4A through H
Yeah, I
altogether
was
if the
trying to
board
get
so
her out
chooses, or
before
if anything needs to
6:30,
be
so we should be able to
considered
do it.
separately, we can.
if somebody wants to make a motion, we can do the consent agenda for A through H altogether, if everybody's had time to read all that.
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
I second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Uh,
Aye as well.
Aye.
That takes us down to public comment. Anyone, Mr. Sturgill, would you read our guidelines for public comment, please?
I will.
Okay. There shall be a time limit for each individual speaker of 3 minutes. A representative of a group may have up to 5 minutes to make a presentation. The representative shall identify the group at the beginning of his or her presentation. Speakers are not permitted to donate time to other speakers. No speaker's time shall be extended except by unanimous consent or a 2/3 vote of the board members present. Prohibited conduct. Persons appearing before the board will not be allowed to campaign for public office, promote private business ventures, use profanity or vulgar language, use language which insults or demeans any person when directed at a public official or employee when not related to his or her official duties. However, citizens have the right to comment on the performance, conduct, and qualifications of public figures, make frivolous statements, interrupt other speakers, engage in behavior that intimidates others, and address the board on issues that do not concern the services, policies, or affairs of the county.
All right, thank you. Anyone would like to make a public comment, you can step up to the podium. Anyone would like to call in, the number's 276-333-0357. Again, the number to call in for public comments, 276-333-0357. Won't look like we're any public comment. If anyone would like to make a motion, to close.
I'll make a motion that we close public comment.
I second it.
And motion and second to close public comment. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye as well. All right. That takes us down to closed meeting. It's where we want to put it, right after public comment,
sir.
correct?
I'll make a motion that we go into closed meeting pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A 1 and 5A, Section 2.2-3711A1, personnel, and all departments, including economic development. That's the only one in.
Correct, yes,
Yep.
ma'am.
We have a motion, we have a second.
I second it.
We have a motion and second going to closed meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
As well. closed session.
Okay, I make a motion that whereas the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors has convened a closed meeting on this date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and whereas 2.2-3712 of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors that a closed meeting was conducted in conformity with the Virginia law. Now therefore be it resolved that the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors hereby certifies that to the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed in the closed meeting to which this certification resolution applies, and only such public business matters as identified in the motion convening the closed meeting was heard, discussed, or considered by the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors.
I second your motion.
Got a motion and a second. We need to do a roll call.
Roll call, yeah.
The roll call.
Roll call.
Mr. Hall?
Aye.
Kaiser?
Aye.
Ms. Willis?
Aye.
Ms. Love? Aye. And I also. Do we have any motions coming out?
Okay, bye. Thank you.
Make the motion.
Yes.
I'll make a motion that we give the administrator the approval from the interview committee's recommendations for the hiring. Is that right? Is that okay?
We have a second.
Second.
Should we put in there that we chose the high scored one? Should we need to put that in there?
It's not required in the motion, but you can note that was the high scoring one from the interview committee, who's being offered the job.
So we had motion and second. Yeah,
Yeah, we got a second.
Who seconded it?
I did.
Oh, sorry about that, Chris, I
Do we
forgot.
need a roll call vote on that one too, or no?
It's not required, but I think that's
Okay,
fine.
all in favor?
Aye.
aye.
I also.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, that's gonna bring us to, now we go back to new business. It's the old item 6B. It'd be the new item 8B, the travel policy. So if everyone's got that before them. Our travel policy, got a proposed amendment to our travel policy, of course, on page 1, having to do with the travel request authorization. It changes back to the original policy had, it would be signed by the employee, by the department head, and then come to the county administrator for signature. But the new one is changing it so that the employee will submit it to their department head. And if it's a constitutional officer, of course, they'll approve it, that they'll sign as the department head on that. And it don't have to come to me as long as it's within their budget, and it says, any travel taken without prior approval of the department head or that is outside the department's annual budget may be a personal expense to the traveler and not reimbursed. It's to simplify record-keeping purposes, is to let them handle it within their budget in there. Then as you go to page 3, there's no changes. We just updated the per diem rates. The last one had fiscal year 22. We just updated that to fiscal year 26. And the link had changed to the GSA site for the rates. And then on the last page, page 5, we made a change on the Board of Supervisors travel so that it shows that any board travel that's taken by the board, you will also complete a travel authorization form. You will sign that and submit that to me. And of course, that will be for travel, any travel outside of the Board of Supervisors planned annual travel budget must be presented to the board for prior approval. So anything that's outside of the budget, whenever we budget things, would be for you guys. Of course, we generally budget the VACO trip in the fall and then the legislative trip in January. That's the only things we really budget for that. So that's the changes. It helps me administratively to get these forms flowing the way that they need to flow. And while we were updating the policy, we just went ahead, even though we referenced the site, the link was old, we updated that and then just went ahead and put the 26 numbers in for reference. So that's my proposed changes to that policy, so.
All right, do we have a motion on that?
Mr. Chair, can I ask Larry a question right quick?
Yes.
Once they get outside of their budget, that comes to you?
It'd have to come to me, but then I don't have any really authority to approve anything. We don't address that, but it'd have to
Yeah.
come back to the board for an allocation of funding, over and above their budget, so.
Okay, so once they exceed their travel budget,
We're letting them manage their own travel as long as it's within their budget. Anything above that, they'd have to come back to the board and ask for additional funds to be given for travel.
okay. That's all.
Any other question? All right, somebody want to make a motion to approve that?
I'll make that motion.
All right, we have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Also. Down to the lease renewals.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have 4 lease renewals that's coming up this month. We'll take those one at a time. Madam Clerk had helped me today making phone calls to reach out to each individual on this to verify that there's no changes, there's no issues with things. The first one we have for consideration is the Cumberland Pine Mountain Trail Riding Club. And of course, they're leased, we lease the property from the Corps and then we sublease it to them. It's where the horse rink is, and as well as the old soccer field. They lease that, they're hoping for future development, tying those 2 properties together. So I think you spoke with Carlos, and Carlos called me back later this afternoon. I spoke with him again as well, but they're very interested in doing that. They have insurance on the property. Their insurance renews in February. He said he would come in and, if the board approved, pay the dollar, sign the lease, and they'd update the insurance whenever it renews in February for us. So
Well, I make a motion that we approve the lease to Cumberland Pine Mountain Trail Riding Club Incorporated, because they're all the same as last year.
everything's the same. It's the
Everything,
same
yeah.
ones from
So I
many
make a
years
motion that
past.
we approve that lease.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye as well.
Mr. Chair, next is 8B, and Ms. Willis, I appreciate you pointing that out. I should say that everything's the same, nothing changed on the leases, so thank you for pointing that out. Richard and Rita Edwards, I talked to Mr. Edwards on that because I was just concerned. That's the property where we used to put the recycling trailer, and I talked to him, simply because we've not recycled since I've been here, many years. But if he was okay with it, we'd like to continue the lease because we would like to be able to get back to recycling if we could get the avenues to do that. So, and he's more than fine with us continuing this, so we would ask the board to approve this continuing lease with Mr. and Ms. Edwards, so.
I make a motion that we approve the one lease with Richard and Rita Edwards.
I'll second it.
All right, have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye as well.
Chair, we're on to 8C, and again, these last 2 are just the churches as far as with that, so there's no changes with them, and they wish to continue as well, so.
I make a motion that we continue the lease with Clinch Cove Free Will Baptist Church.
Second.
Have a motion and a second on Clinch Cove Free Will Baptist Church. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye as well. Next is Yates Chapel Church.
They lease the playground up there in the voting place. I make a motion that we renew the lease with Yates Chapel Church.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh.
So I'm looking at something else, Richard. Sorry.
All right, now we're down to 7 appointments, the Board of Building Code Appeals.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On our Board of Building Code Appeals, Mr. Kermit Mullins' term is up for renewal. Madam Clerk had spoke with our building official who verified that Mr. Mullins wants to continue serving on this board, and he's a member and well-standing, attends the meetings and participates, so.
I'll make a motion that we reappoint, or I have to nominate him, right?
Correct. Yes,
I
you
nominate Kermit Mullins for the Board of Building Code Appeals.
did. So we don't have to have a second, but if there's any other
Any other
nominations.
nomination? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye as well. We have a resolution for the signs on the property here at our
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chair. What you have before you is going to be an updated resolution for signs placed on the Dickinson County property, specifically the Dickinson Center for Education and Research, often referred to as the DCER. Basically, we had made some suggested changes on this. I'd worked with Ms. Willis on these changes. After we got our changes, I kind of cleaned it up a little bit to try to put it in compartments where it's easier to follow, because we're basically saying that county informational signs are permitted by staff at any time on the property. And then we done the 3 separate categories below that. We have early voting, which states a maximum of 2 campaign signs per candidate, not to exceed 18 inches by 24 inches, may be placed along Happy Valley Drive on the front of the property. And it goes on to say campaign signs are not permitted on or past the entrance to the DCER parking lot, and that all campaign signs placed for early voting must be removed no later than midnight on the last date of early voting. And we try to stay away from dates on this, because if there were to be anything change or anything, we're just specifying the periods of the early voting. And then the next item, election day, there's really no changes to this. We just kind of cleaned it up, put it in its own section, that there's no limit on the number or the size of campaign signs placed on DCER property on election day. And we did add, it was kind of implicit, but we said, signs may be placed beginning at 4:30 p.m. on the day preceding election day and must be removed by midnight on election day. That way it gives them time, because they're trying to get their signs up the evening before. So we said after the building officially closes at 4:30, then they can put up as many or whatever size. And then we added item 4, the special events and room rentals, and it follows the same categories, the 2 signs, as the early voting does. And it states that all campaign signs must be removed immediately following the conclusion of the special event. And then lastly, it just says, as our other ordinance said, or as our other resolution said, just any sign not in compliance with the provisions of this resolution shall be removed and disposed of by county staff. So, really the changes from what we had is going to be adding the early voting, adding the special events and room rentals, and then just clarifying the language a little bit on election day, so they've got clarity, and it specifically says they can put them up at 4:30 the day before election day. So that's our proposed changes. Did I cover everything, Ms. Willis?
Mm-hmm. I'd like to make a motion that we pass this resolution.
Second.
I've got some comments, if I can, on that. With the resolution, as far as I can tell, there is no means of keeping anybody from doing it. Once they do it, I mean, there's no consequences for doing it. So
It's just removed.
if you're wanting to,
No, you put them up. I guess, do we need to put in there that you put them up like midnight before early voting starts, or?
We can clarify that on there, because we don't say when they can put them up. It says when they have to be
They
put
have to
down.
take
So
them down.
we could do the same thing like on election day. We could amend that and say that signs may be placed beginning at, really, we could do 4:30 p.m. the day
Right.
preceding early voting,
Yeah,
like we do
after
election
the
day. We could put
office
that
is closed,
clarifying
yeah.
change in there.
my point is, it don't matter what you say right here, there's no means of anything other than picking the signs up and throwing them away. They can come in here and throw signs everywhere, and then Larry comes in the next day, has to pick them all up and throw them away. So instead of a resolution, why don't we do an ordinance that's enforceable?
Well, I don't know, Will recommend the resolution, I guess. Did you? You talked to Will, and I talked to Will, to see if we
Correct.
could do it.
Yeah. And I think that we can do it. If it's by ordinance, you have to have public hearings and all
We can do
that.
that in October, then.
But then you have a means of, if you put this up, you're gonna get in trouble, you're gonna get fined. That might deter, that
No.
might help people follow the
Not gonna get
rules.
fined, you're just gonna get them taken down.
I guess the other part is, if you're gonna put it up and then it's immediately gonna come down, then I don't know if people's gonna, they may keep continuing on, but,
I don't know.
yeah.
But from what I've seen, just observing, they're gonna come in here, they're gonna put signs up, we're gonna take them down, there's no consequences for it. So it don't really matter what the resolution says, that's
Well, if
just our
they're not taken
recommendation.
down, doesn't it say that the staff will take them down?
It does. It says in item 5,
Yeah.
any sign not in compliance with the provisions of this resolution shall be removed and disposed of by county staff. And we really don't dispose of the signs. I always prop them up at the building, and after election day and stuff, and reach out to the party and say, your signs are here. if you don't get them, if they lay there a week or two, then I'll throw them away, because I don't, you know.
Yeah. So that don't really keep them from being able to do it, is all I'm saying. I mean, I don't care either way, we have signs or we don't, or. I'm
Well,
just saying
it's,
if-
early voting is no different than going to the polls and, you know, you put up signs at the polls on election day. So early voting is election.
Yeah, and I'm okay with signs. I'm not saying I'm not okay with signs.
But the ordinance that he has in there, is if they don't take them down, or if they're not the size that we say, then they can be removed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, what's the original the ordinance we have right now? What's it?
Yeah, that would pull that-
None.
I can pull it up.
Correct. It's
It's none.
none
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Oh, yeah,
It's
it's
allowed
none.
on election day, obviously,
Yeah.
but none for early vote.
No, none for any other time,
Correct.
really.
Yeah. So, and again, I'm not saying don't put signs up. I'm just saying that.
It still says the same thing on our current, any signs heretofore placed on district property which are not informational signs will be removed and disposed of by county staff. On our
Yeah.
current one is what it says. There's the,
Or if they don't meet the
Previous one, yeah,
guidelines of the
original one we got.
size, they would, but.
yeah, don't have any guidelines for size. It doesn't allow
I don't think
anything
I don't
except
think there was
for,
a size the last time.
during election day.
No,
is all
there
this
wasn't
allows, so.
no, size. But this has a size. This is just a
Limits
regular
them
yard
to two
size.
and 2 yard signs. I had to
Yeah.
look up the size after we talked to see what
Yeah.
the standard size was on them.
Yeah.
I don't know that we would have any other avenue with an ordinance other than a resolution for punishment, do you?
I mean, you could potentially look at fines, but to me, the ultimate, is the fact that if you're putting them up, it's going to come back down. So you're causing a lot of extra work. And then if it continues to be a problem, obviously we could look at this. But my hope would be is that, that there wouldn't be much of an issue considering, if you put something up that's outside what's allowed, it's immediately coming back down.
I hope everyone would respect that.
Well, if they didn't, then I think Mr. Barton has the authority to tell the staff to go remove them.
That's what I do according to this resolution, so.
Correct.
Sometimes that ain't that easy though when you got people standing right over top of them.
Well, how do you mean standing on top of them?
Well, I mean, when you've got the people that's putting the signs out, standing beside the signs, and then the staff goes out to take the signs up, that's just an uncomfortable
Well,
situation.
to me, they would just put them up and leave. You're not gonna stand beside all of them. On the roadside, you put them up on the
Well,
roadside.
when you have the events over here, there's people standing around and kind of congregating all around, so. I mean, I'm not saying every time's gonna be like that. I'm just saying there will be situations like that. I've already seen it.
Well, I just felt like it was fair to everybody on both sides, that they would be able to display their signs equally.
Yeah.
Two
and I'm
per
okay with
candidate.
that. Not, I'm
And I'm
perfectly
fine
okay
with
with
going with
that.
one per candidate.
Doesn't matter to me. As long as everybody's got equal.
Equal
don't care.
opportunity,
Yeah.
I think it's really whatever the pleasure of the board is. Of course, we're in early voting right now, so, if you take action tonight, then it'll go into effect once you do.
Right.
If you do decide to do an ordinance, then you'll have to do the 30-day posting to do the public hearing, and then you're gonna be delayed a month before you take any action to do anything, so. It's really whatever the pleasure of
And
the
so
board is
early
tonight.
voting would be basically over
At
time
the
you
end of
done an
October,
ordinance.
don't know our meeting date in October.
So, Mr. Barton, I've witnessed this, but I want to ask you, how much of a burden does this put on you about taking signs up and seeing people putting signs up and having to go talk to them and,
As far as under the new regulations,
well, the current?
for the current, I can think of 2 situations that I've had to deal with. I was here one time when someone put some signs up out front, and I had to go deal with them, and that got taken care of. The last event that happened, I was at another meeting. I wasn't here. My staff intervened, and it created a little bit of an issue, and
Yeah. So this ordinance, will that help with that, alleviate some of that?
I think it's still the same enforcement that we had before.
So nothing there is going to change as far as,
The enforcement's the same. I think
Yeah.
it's pretty well the same language as currently.
Okay. I just don't wanna put no more on you and your staff than what's necessary, so. That's all I got.
We won't be dealing with huge signs, just
Yeah.
18 by 20,
Yard
which is
signs.
not
Just the yard
much,
signs.
you know. Not like dealing with those huge
Maybe
signs.
4x4s
Yeah.
or something.
Can I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
And I understand everybody that has ever ran for election, no matter what it is, who plans to run in the future. When you spend money for signs, you want to put them out. But I also understand the majority of the citizens in the county know who they're voting for when they pull in here or they pull in at their voting precinct. You know, I don't.
I disagree because I've had people, I stand outside and I have people come and want to see a ballot to see who was on the ballot.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of people don't really follow the news and things.
Yeah,
And
they may ask for a ballot, but how many of them are reading the signs on who is who, or they may want to know, or something like that, but, you know. Elections can cause disruptness and people getting, you know, we just gotta get to November 4th.
well, if each side can put up 2 of each candidate, there would be no issue, I
Right.
don't think.
Right.
I think you're treating everyone fairly in that respect, so.
Yeah, hey, it's written fairly.
Do I have a motion? Did anybody second my motion?
I'll second it.
All right. Motion and a second on that,
Resolution.
resolution.
Can I ask a question? Shelby, you made the motion. I apologize, Mr. Chair, but are we clarifying the language? Get over to the right screen here. Are we clarifying the language on when they can put up the early voting signs to make it match the election day signs, saying that signs may be placed beginning at 4:30 p.m. on the day preceding early voting? Are we going to amend it and add that to there? We talked about that just a minute ago.
I think so, because they may start putting them out in
That way
July,
it gives them
August.
permission.
Yeah,
It says during early voting, we probably need to clarify, I guess, that if you'd want to amend your motion to,
Correct, to include that added language.
To include,
on the early voting under item 2,
To
it
put 'em out.
says,
Be able to put
it doesn't
the
say
sign
when they can put them
12:30.
down, it just says they have to be removed no later than
Before it
midnight
starts.
on the last day of early voting, so we could add to that, all signs may be placed beginning 4:30 p.m. on the day preceding early voting and must be removed by
yeah, that's
midnight on
fine.
election
Yeah,
day.
I'll make
It would
that.
match the same language as the election day, because that came
Yeah.
up in discussion a minute
Yeah,
ago.
let's amend it to that,
Okay.
and I'll make my motion for that amendment.
and I will second that as well.
Okay. Any further discussion?
You know, I just think people have the right to put their signs up. You pay a lot for them, and it wouldn't be a lot of clutter for that long, you know, and it won't
And it's just
bother.
putting them out by the road as
Right.
well, it isn't putting them in on the drive coming in, so.
And actually, there's enough room on the VDOT property down there probably to put them without us doing this. Because if you look at those light posts, they're probably on VDOT property.
More than likely, yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 20 foot from the center in most cases.
And everybody puts them on VDOT property, even though you're not supposed to, but people do.
There's a lot of places you
I'm
couldn't.
guilty.
You couldn't put them if you didn't put them on VDOT property. And just hope everyone respects and not put a sign that totally blocks another sign.
Right, yeah, be
You know,
respectful.
be respectful.
It's a big
Yeah.
area though, like you said,
Yeah.
it's a pretty big area down there.
Yeah, I mean, it gives each party or whatever the right to put their signs up and be respectful for each other. I'm the type of person that believes everybody should vote. I don't care how you vote.
Yeah.
But people fought and died for our right to vote.
Yep.
And I'm the type of person that believes everybody should vote regardless who you vote for.
I would agree with that.
I have voted ever since I was 18 years old, which was 50 years ago, and I have early
I
voted
had to
one
wait till I
time.
was 21.
I've early voted one time.
One time,
59 years I have gone, 49 years I have gone to the
Missed a
polls.
day's voting or a year of voting.
All right, We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Awesome. That takes us down to
12.
Item 12.
supervisor comments.
We're not there, are we? We are, aren't we?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
are.
we're there.
Rearranged everything, so that brings us down to number 12. Mr. Hall, we wanna start us out?
That's a short meeting.
Even to do a closed session, that's pretty good, isn't it?
I'm trying to think of what I thought about today.
Haven't really thought of anything. Just kind of hope that our nation can kind of get back on track here. I know it's been pretty contentious and had a lot of things happening in the national news and stuff, so hopefully all that can get settled down. We can all come together and kind of start uniting a little bit instead of fighting so much. I mean, we're closer on a lot of issues than what we think, so I really, really hope that we can start coming together, especially for our kids and our youth. Definitely want to leave this a better place for them. That's all I got.
Skyler?
I thought of some stuff this evening, but I'm getting old and didn't make a note. I forgot. Just thank everybody for coming, people who watches on live or even goes back and watches. We just want to do the best for the county, the best for the citizens. We want to see this place grow, improve, be better. And it's a job. It's something that we have to work with and work hard at. And I think this Friday night's Ridgeview's homecoming, they've been playing real well. I hope that they keep up the scoring and playing good and do good at their homecoming game Friday night. And all of the bereaved in the county, the families, just send them sincere condolences. I noticed in the obituaries that a brother and a sister passed away, and that's hard on the family when you lose two members of the family within probably a day or something like that. So just remember all of that. And remember us in prayer, that we can do what we need to do for the best.
Ms. Wills?
You know, I'll just echo what Chris said. I like to see our country come together and have respect for each other. I try to respect everybody's beliefs, and I would like for them to respect my beliefs, you know. And we need to love everybody. That's, I think, when Charlie Kirk's wife said she even forgave that person that assassinated her, I tell you, it brought tears to me to see her be able to say that.
Yeah.
And we need to come together better, countywide, statewide, nationwide, and respect each other.
Any?
That's all. Thank you,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
I'll echo what they said. The division in the country really worries me right now. I'd love to see the country come together for the betterment of the country. The political divide, all the other divides in the country.
Hatred, just so much hatred.
The hatred is the worst I've ever seen it in my life, I think. So I hope that we can all come together and try to build our little county up stronger and better. And we're all neighbors here in Dickinson County. Nobody in Washington, D.C. doesn't know us to start with, so let's not fight over things that we have no control over. Let's all get together and build on the county. Wish Ridgeview great luck in the ball game, the homecoming. And if anybody's got anything, reach out to each board member, you know, in your district. I know I've got some issues with some roads in my district. I've tried to get answers for them and I can't. I don't know what to tell the people. I've made phone calls, I've sent texts. I don't know. not getting any response, so we're doing our best. And that's all I have.
I think I'm feeding the band Friday night, Friday evening.
You know, I teach my kids to win or lose, to have respect for the other team. And I told them that when I went to school, I graduated from Clintwood High School. That was it was just drilled into us that we were good sportsmanship, and we always won the award for good sportsmanship. And I always teach them.
Right.
And you know what? I had somebody in my family say, it's a different world, you know. I said, no, it isn't. It's a different atmosphere, but you still need to show respect.
All right, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Politeness is never out of order, is it? To be polite to other people
No.
and respect. It's never out of order.
Got a motion to adjourn?
Did anybody second it?
Need a second.
I'll second it, because I've been to meetings all day.
We've got a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye as well. Thank everybody.